So I'm done watching cars. I'm done watching cars, so now I need to go find a place that I can sit and enjoy. I'm almost done with this. It's basically hot chocolate with chia seeds. So it has that chia seeds pudding taste whilst also being hot chocolate, so it's good. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anga and I make random videos. So I could not miss the opportunity of talking about Jada Smith and August kind of thing that's going on in line. Obviously just share my thoughts. Obviously I'm not them. I wasn't in the relationship. There's no way I could have been in a relationship with them, but just like taking what's happening outside of who it's happening to and talking about it and just sharing my thoughts, because I feel that it's very possible that they both went through a relationship that was very different to each of the person involved. So I think that's great and that's amazing, because relationships obviously are not, they're very subjective because they're based, it's a social construct, so it's based on connotative meanings versus denotative meanings. So it really depends and varies with people. But one thing that obviously people were talking about online is the idea that they are in an open marriage, and my thoughts on that are actually quite simple. I think like any other type of a relationship, open marriage is a very specific kind of thing, and also it's very variable. Like it varies, like to each person it means a different thing. So obviously we can't define for Will and Jada what their relationship is. We have to take what they tell us they see their relationship and what best describes their relationship. And obviously they've come out and sort of said that they are in a life partnership, and we have to sort of respect that, because it's not like we can, like, it's open marriage is a fact. It looks like this and we can impose it to them. We absolutely cannot do that. So we have to be, when somebody describes a relationship that they have with somebody, especially if they're describing it together, they're describing it in a way that best fits how they see it. So we can't sort of impose our own definitions to their relationship or marriage, what they've chosen to define it as. So I don't think it's something new. I don't think it's something that happened overnight. When you look at the consistency in the public answers that Will has given in the situation, it actually shows that it's something that probably they quite thought of, and it's sort of something that has happened in the long term. But now I think another thing that was sort of an issue was the age difference, because August at that time would have been 21 and Jada obviously was, I think, in her 40s or something. But like, is that a problem? Let's begin there. I don't personally think, because obviously he was of legal age at the time, so he could definitely legally consent to a relationship, any form of a relationship. Obviously taken control of that in the sense of saying he was responsible for choosing to be in that. So I think we can't also impose that he was taken advantage of just because of his age. Obviously he was of consent age. Age gap relationships don't always mean you are being taken advantage of. Obviously I do believe protecting younger boys and younger girls just because of the vulnerability they have at maybe 14 and all that. So, but then to think of a 21-year-old, I think at 21 you would have gone through enough things to know So I don't think the person that you are in a relationship is still like, I look at the relationship I have with my friends. It's very deep, it's very strong, it's conversation, it's that deep connection that goes beyond just the everyday life. It's emotional, it's all of that. So even if you have friends who are like 30 years older, it still is that. I also very much have female friends who are like 40 years older than me, but that sense of a relationship and connection is still strong, it's still there. So I don't think necessarily the age gap has to automatically mean you were taken advantage of, unless you are a minor. I think I've also realized is automatically there's this shaming that's going online of the entire thing. How dare they be in an open relationship? Even if they were, like, these are two grown-ups who have been together for years, who obviously know what each one of them want, and they've come to a consensual agreement. Why should that be shameful? I don't understand. Because I've been seeing comments that are like, oh, marriage has no what happened to the good old marriage? I'm like, dude, I understand what's our problem with two people consenting to relate in a way that they want. So even if it was open, it doesn't matter. Like, it generally doesn't matter. These are two grown-ups that decide what their union is going to look like, decide what their relationship is going to look like. So I guess it, in so many ways, it shows how we've standardized one form of a relationship, and it has to be that form and that form only, which is obviously BS. I talk about relationships a lot. That's why I'm single. Because I'm busy talking about relationships and not relating with people. But anyway, I'm excited for the Red Table Talk. I think for me, I was making this video for obviously to talk about it, not in a sense of Jada and August per se, but what we can learn from the situation. And I think first thing I learn is to stop and think, and not just standardize things, especially for no solid reason. And two, relationships are deep, guys. They cut through the deepest parts of who we are. So how we relate with people have to be very, very clear. Like, if you are having a friendship with somebody, you've got to present yourself in a way that that person deserves, but also in a way that you deserve. So that means being very clear about your own intentions, and also being like, and also be willing to accept what the person's intentions are, and not make them what you want them to be, such that you can actually make the decision to stay or leave. And if you choose to stay in that relationship, you have to understand the consequences of it. Like, relationships are always going to impact us. But like, if you really think about the relationships that impact us in lives in general, there are these relationships that have the deepest way to get through who we are, who we've been, how we've been painted, how we dream, how we see the world. So I think for me, what I take from all of that is it's good to have interactions, it's good to have deep conversations, deep relationship, but also there's a responsibility that you have to be willing to take for it, and the risk as well. If she decides to do the Red Table Talk, I'm all in. I'm like waiting. I love me some good conversations that basically breaks down our conventional norms on things, because I feel like it's impossible that we all, like everybody in the human race, sees things the same and want things the same. And that's just, to me, it doesn't make sense. So it's exciting to have a conversation in a public space that forces us to think beyond what we've just standardized or just accepted as being the norm. So I'm loving it. Also, I'm single, so I love learning about people's relationships, because that's how I grow. Yeah, if you're single, you grow through observing people's relationships. Thank you guys for checking this video out. You are put wherever you are, and stay safe.